What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Well, the 2022 Royal Rumble is officially in the books, and whilst the pay-per-view was a mixed bag, there were a number of notable botches during the course of the pay-per-view that fans may have missed. But which ones were they? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 11 botches you probably missed at the 2022 Royal Rumble. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 11, Maryse is married to Edge. Corey Graves on commentary would state that Maryse was married to the rated R superstar. A humorous slip-up was missed by a lot of fans during the live broadcast, but the line stands out when rewatching the replay of the match. Doing live commentary for the WWE broadcast is hard, especially when calling a show of the magnitude of the Royal Rumble, so Graves should be forgiven for this rare blunder. Nevertheless, it'll be interesting to see what The Miz made of Graves' memorable slip-up. Number 10, Melina's early elimination. Melina made her grand return to WWE at the number 2 position in the Women's Royal Rumble. She received a fantastic reaction as fans clearly missed the former Women's Champion being a part of the WWE. She had a great stare down with Sasha Banks before her rather quick elimination. Now, Melina would be eliminated in just 53 seconds, and her elimination was actually a mistake. It's believed that she slipped off the apron, meaning that WWE had no choice but to render her eliminated from the matchup. Now, it's unknown how long Melina was supposed to stay in the match, but she certainly was expected to last longer than a mediocre 53 seconds. Number 9, Kelly Kelly's tilt-a-whirl head scissors. A former WWE star, Kelly Kelly, just lasted one single minute in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble, and in this time, she managed to flub a move virtually immediately. Kelly would enter the match at number 4 and quickly set her sights on Tamina. Kelly then attempted to perform a tilt-a-whirl head scissors, but she managed to completely mess up the move. It looked awkward, and the two women quickly transitioned into the next spot. Thankfully, she was able to remain botch-free for the rest of her time in the matchup. Number 8, Maryse refuses to bump. One of the matches on the Royal Rumble undercard saw The Miz and Maryse team up to take on the duo of Edge and Beth Phoenix. This would act as Maryse's first match since 2018, and it was clear that Maryse wasn't ready for in-ring action. Now, throughout the match, Maryse seemed too scared to take a single bump. In fact, she seemed to do anything she could to prevent this from happening. When she was forced to take a bump, it looked terrible. She would also spend a strong portion of the match readjusting her ring gear to prevent her from exposing those key parts of her body. Although these botches can't be ignored, Maryse did perform a fantastic spot in the match. This saw her perform a top rope hurricanrana on Edge. Now, to her credit, it looks so awesome, and the credit should also be offered to Edge for selling the move so damn well. Number 7, Ronda's terrible offense. Ronda Rousey's surprise return at the 2022 Rumble was a huge deal. Ronda is one of the biggest names on the planet, and her returning will lead to huge exposure for the WWE. But the problem with Ronda's return was that she was clearly suffering from ring rust. This makes sense when you take into consideration that this was her first match since WrestleMania 35. Ronda's offense in the match looked terrible. Her knees and punches clearly weren't connecting, and it was extremely hard for WWE to shoot around her mistakes. At one point, the camera panned in on Ronda kneeing Natalya in the chest, and Natalya had no choice but to no-sell the move due to how obvious it was that she made zero contact with her. Hopefully Ronda will work on her ring rust, especially because she's set for a major title match at WrestleMania this year and will most likely be placed in the illustrious main event position. Number 6, Charles Robinson helps Seth Rollins. The finish of the Roman Reigns vs Seth Rollins match saw Reigns get disqualified after refusing to let go of a guillotine choke. Well, what may have been missed about the match finish was that the finish was actually botched, and Rollins was genuinely struggling to reach the ropes to cause a rope break. This caused tenured referee Charles Robinson to help Rollins out. Whilst Rollins was raising Rollins' arm to check his status, he smartly moved Rollins' arm towards the rope, allowing Rollins to officially break the hold. Due to Robinson's experience, he was able to do this without a ton of fanfare being directed towards the spot. Now, only a few fans actually noticed this on social media, and it was truly a blink and you'll miss it type of moment. It certainly helped that the post-match angle involving Reigns attacking Rollins with a chair would have greatly assisted in fans forgetting Robinson's crucial involvement. It's also worth noting that the referees assisting wrestlers to perform spots isn't anything new. It's been done for decades, especially in top promotions like WWE. Number 5, Summer Rae shatters PG guidelines. Heading into the 2022 Rumble, Summer Rae and Natalya decided to embark on a social media feud to promote the match. This would have callbacks to their feud on Total Divas, and it was actually a smart thing for both women to do. When Summer Rae entered the match, her arch-rival Natalya was already in the ring. Now this led to Summer charging down to the ring and actually screaming something that should never be allowed on WWE's PG product. She would scream F you as she entered the ring.
From WWE,
Somehow, someway, WWE didn't manage to bleep this out, and it was clearly Summer going into business for herself. Now, it's possible that Summer got into trouble backstage, as she would have had prior knowledge that that kind of language used was unacceptable. Whether this impacts Summer getting another call to return in the future Rumble remains to be seen. Number 4, Shane can't get over the ropes. Now, the Men's Royal Rumble saw the grand return of Shane McMahon. Now, although it was great to see Shane in the match, criticism was offered to how he was booked. He lasted until the final 4 men and would even eliminate Kevin Owens. Shane would eventually be eliminated by Brock Lesnar, and he actually managed to botch his own elimination. He was supposed to be easily clotheslined over the rope by Lesnar, but Shane flubbed this as he was unable to get himself over the ropes. This led to a no doubt frustrated Lesnar repeating the spot to secure the planned elimination. Number 3, Dominik Mysterio's rough landing. A criticism that was directed towards the Men's Rumble in particular was the lack of the moments that WWE created. Fans hoped that Rey and Dominik Mysterio would share the ring together, but by the time Rey entered the match, his son was already eliminated. But with regards to Dominik's elimination, it appears as if his elimination was a botch, as he had a dangerous landing. Dominik was thrown out by Baron Corbin and he landed straight on his face on the outside, with his head bouncing off the floor. It looked incredibly painful, and there were even fan reports that Dominik was walking slowly to the backstage area, looking completely out of it. Hopefully Dominik isn't suffering from a concussion, or this could put him out of action for an extended period of time. Number 2, Kofi Kingston's Rumble save goes wrong. Kofi Kingston has made a career of having iconic Royal Rumble moments. He's been accustomed to saving himself from elimination in a match by performing heroic acts of athleticism which fans look forward to seeing every single year. Sadly this year it went terribly wrong. Kofi entered the Rumble at number 24 and he was pushed off the top rope by Kevin Owens. The former champion landed on the barricade outside, and it appeared as though he was trying to prevent himself from hitting the floor, but both feet managed to touch the floor. In order to ruin the spot further, WWE decided to replay the spot and subsequently confirm that Kofi had been eliminated. Could have just left the replay out and just winged it. This was a massive shame as fans never found out Kofi's plans for the spot. Kofi made light of the situation on Twitter shortly after the pay-per-view by posting, "Well, it's better to try and fail than to never try at all." Someone said this. And number 1, Ronda Rousey's pyro causes a fire. A pyro is prone to going wrong on a number of occasions throughout WWE history, and one of these times was at the Rumble. During Ronda Rousey's post-match pyro, the pyro managed to set the Wrestlemania sign on fire. Now this could have been rather dangerous, but WWE were fast to get the sign down and extinguish the fire. When WWE planned on using pyro again for Brock Lesnar's victory, they smartly evacuated all fans that were sitting in close proximity to the WrestleMania sign. It was a good job they did, as once again, the sign caught fire. Thankfully nobody was hurt, and hopefully WWE will look into how this fire was caused and how they can prevent a similar thing from happening in the near future. But there you have it folks, botches you probably missed at the 2022 Royal Rumble. Were there any more? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.